Okay, and then we're really going to go through this book on how to get paid. We'll go through everything in this one. This one just has more information in it on the opportunities board if you choose to use it instead of like a blackboard.
We have that opportunity?
Yes. You see the paper clip at the top? If you pull the paper clip off your packet there, you'll notice like you've got 2 booklets. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Okay. All right, I'm going to share my screen with everybody now. This is not hard, I promise. Or at least I don't feel like it's hard. I feel like it's more learning curve, but I feel like you guys will do just fine. Okay. All right. So when you're in Command, there are 2 ways to create an opportunity. And the 2 ways to do that is obviously going to the opportunity section, which is the 2 shaking little hands. But if you can't remember that the shaking hands are the opportunity, if you click on the KW, it will bring up the names of each one of these little icons. So when you come in here, think of an opportunity board as your blackboard in your office or your dry erase board where you're tracking the transaction as it's going through the process. That's kind of why they've designed this for us. Your booklet will go in more detail on how to use that board. But what I want to show you is that you can come in here to this section, and on the right-hand corner, you can create the opportunity. Before you create the opportunity, I'm assuming that everybody on this Zoom call and everyone in my classroom has their contacts in Command. If you don't have your contact in Command, you can't create the opportunity. So you've got a buyer, you've got a seller, you put them in Command under the contact section, take a tech orientation class if you don't know how to do that. And then you'll come in here and you'll create the opportunity, which is then how you get to create the offer and get paid, okay? So create an opportunity. It's gonna pop up with this kind of window right here. If you're on a team or you have multiple market centers, please pay attention to these 2 sections right here. You'll obviously select which market center the transaction is for, so opportunity transaction, same thing. If you're on a team, you'll just select that team. You'll also select if this is a listing or a buyer deal, listing or a buyer deal. Now, because we're here in this section, I want to clarify something with everybody. You know how on green sheets, if you have a listing that's a KW listing and you have a buyer that comes along and they have a KW agent, well, then the listing agent does the green sheet for everybody. That is no longer the case. You do for the seller, they do for the buyer. They will do their own side in Command, okay? Easy peasy? Easy peasy? So you're just doing your side of the transaction. So we'll just leave it listing for now. If you're on a team, this owner section is going to kind of populate with who all the owners of the listing is. Obviously, I'm an individual agent, so mine just says my name, but if you're on a team, like you guys, it might say Rachel, it may say Robin. You'll just pick whose transaction it is. Okay, then obviously you'll type in the client's name. They'll pop up, provided that you've created them as a contact in Command. If they have a spouse that's part of this deal, you'll start typing in their name there and they'll pop up as well.
So I have to go out of this to create the client to move forward.
Yes, if you don't have any contacts in Command, you'll have to create them as a contact first.
Can I make up one for now?
You sure can. Okay, you can give it a custom tag if you want. I kind of like to do them by area and loan type. You don't have to do that, it's up to you. Estimating close date, you can kind of put that in there. If it's a brand new listing and you just have no idea, you can leave it blank, it's not required. You can put on here the estimated list price. So say we're going to list it for $300,000, not $3 million. And then the commission rate. This is your side of the commission. Now remember, we're not doing, it's my listing, a KW agent came along and now it's, you know, I'm doing it for everybody. No, it's your side of the commission. Now, if you get both sides of that, great. You could put 6% in there and be done with it. But if you only have the one side of it, you know, 3%, 2.5, whatever it is. Now, if you plan to use the opportunity board to kind of track your transactions and how they're moving along in the process, that's where these two sections come into play. The opportunity phase, which are cultivate, appointment. I think those are the only three they give us, active. And then what stage they're in within that phase. And again, that using the opportunity board will come in more detail for that section there. And then you just hit create. I'm not going to hit create because I already have a test one up and running that I'm going to show us how to use. But how you can find those opportunities that you've created, if you choose to use the board, it's wherever you place them on the board. If you don't want to use that board, you can just simply come here and click all opportunities. And you'll be able to find what you're looking for based off of what you named it. Or you can simply go to the contact once you're on the contact card, over on the right-hand side, the activity board section, you can click on opportunities and it will show up right there as well. I know a lot of agents who kind of prefer not to use the board and just stick with this section here. This is also where you can create an opportunity. Instead of going to the opportunity tab in Command, you can simply go to the client's contact card, come to the opportunity section, and then click create opportunity, and you get the exact same menu that we were just typing information into. Okay. Now, once you've created it, if you just simply click their name or whatever you named it, I suggest probably naming it the address. If they don't have an address and they're a buyer, then their name, different things like that. You come to the opportunity details section. So this is basically all the information that we put in and then some, which you can easily edit by clicking the pencils above each little section, if you so wish. Obviously, our documents are going to be here. We're not going to go over documents today. We'll talk about documents in November. But the next step on how to get paid is we need to create the offer. Creating the offer then opens up the commission section. I'm in the how to get paid book. So when you're creating the offer, you just simply click offer. And then you just click the add new offer button. You can name it. This section is great, I feel like, for listings. Like if you've got a seller that's a really hot property and you get like 3 or 4 offers in, you can put each offer in and then generate a side-by-side comparison that you can then send to the seller and they can see everything side by side, which is really nice. For buyers, if they write like 3,000 offers, I would just wait till something gets accepted and then put in the accepted offer. It's going to ask for information, such as like when the offer was put in. We'll just say we put it in today, the close date, close it in September, and then you just simply click the next button. Your client's information is automatically going to populate over here, as well as the agent information. But you do need a name for, we're doing the selling side, remember, so you do need a name for that buyer, so whoever the buyer is. And then the agent's name that is representing that buyer as well. You can mark if they're pre-approved or pre-qualified. And then simply hit next. They have this broken down in terms of like how much cash they're bringing, how much they're financing, and then that will generate the sales price. I just find it's easier just to type in, hey, they offered us $300,000 instead of trying to do the math. Okay. Then it will ask for the earnest money. Okay. Option fee, we don't have that in Tennessee, so you don't have to worry about that. The termination option, other places call it that. That's our inspection period. That's what we call it here, is our inspection period. Just say 10 days. You can write here if they're contributing anything to any residential services that are taking place in the area. And then, of course, if they're asking for concessions. So let's just say they're asking for 5,000 seller concessions. Agent analysis. If you plan to do like a side-by-side comparison with all the offers that came in on the listing, here's then where you could type in what the pros were for the offer, what the cons were, and then give a summary. And if you want, you can type in here, hey, this is a conventional loan. They're actually putting 20% down. And then simply hit save. You can create as many of those as you need. I typically just put my offer in that got accepted, but I do feel like the side-by-side comparison that you can send out to people is really neat, and that's also in this book that you can walk through. But once you have an offer that's accepted and your contract is bound, all you simply have to do is click accepted, and you'll see how the commission tab then became dark. So now you can start working on your commission sheet. Now I've got a couple red flags over here. It says missing information, listing, missing information, contact date. Now I put it in, but for whatever reason, it just didn't pull over to this section. That's okay. I'll show you how to fix that. I obviously need to add my listing to this. So I come up here to the top, click select from listings. My listings will then pop up right here, and I can pick which one it is. We'll just pretend it's what? It pulls it from the MLS. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, if I want to fix this, I just simply click the edit button, and I can get my little handy dandy calendar. We said it was today. Save changes. Right there it is. Now it will automatically generate the rest of the information for you down through here. So it's telling me, hey, I'm getting 1 unit. This was my gross commission. Here's my net paid to the agent. Here's the payment date, provided it closes on time. And now you have these handy dandy little cap meters, if you want to call them that are kind of tracking your cap in command for you, so you don't constantly have to call all the time. So it's telling me, hey, your royalty cap is $3,000. This is what you've paid in. This is what you lack. Here is your cap with the KW office. Here's what you've paid in. Here's what you owe. So it will track that. Now, the green line is your actual, and the yellow line is the amount of the circle that's going to be filled if this is completed.
Is that really green? It looks blue to me.
Does it look blue? It looks green to me. It could be blue. Huh.
Okay, good.
Okay. Blue, green, whatever. I thought you were like confused there for a minute. I was just like, how is
That's
that?
like my color.
It should be green for money.
Heck yeah, it should be. Money, money, money. Okay. So let me flip through my book here. We created the offer. We accepted the offer. That's sharing the offers, submitting the offers. Okay. Now, say you had to add like an agent to this because someone else was getting paid in the office.
Like a referral
Like you want to do an outside referral first or inside referral?
inside.
Inside, okay. You'll just simply click edit agent payment, scroll down to the bottom, add item. You can add a bonus, concessions, deductions, inside referral, outside referral. Click it. It'll ask for the amount and the agent that it's going to. I prefer to do my inside referrals just a little bit different, but know that you can do it that way. Outside referral will pop up with this window. Now our outside referrals are a little different this time. They're going to ask for the, oh, did they fix it? Yes, they fixed it. Ha, the last time I taught this class, the percentage wouldn't let me type in it, but now it's letting me type in it. So 25, put in 25,000. I'm going to ask you for the tax ID. And you're going to actually enter in the number from the W-9 that they gave you. You are entering the information now. Before, when we were doing green sheets, they would take care of it all on this end. Now it's your turn to look at the actual W-9 and type in the information that they're looking for, okay? And they're going to want the tax ID number, the brokerage company name, the agent that's getting paid, the address, and the phone number. The address will be on the W-9. The phone number will not. And I had to do one recently, a referral out. It didn't have a number. I couldn't find a number anywhere. I just simply went 555, 555, 5555. And it did it. So don't stress out about it. And then click add. I'm obviously not going to fill all that out, but I prefer to do an inside referral, like maybe not an inside referral, but if you're on a team, let's say you're on a team. Let's just say you guys split everything 50-50. I don't know if you do, but we're just going to say that. You can add another agent. It's up there at the top. You just click it, and then you'll start typing them in. It'll be like if they get unit credit, you'll type that in. If they don't get unit credit, because I know a lot of my my people in productivity coaching, they don't have to split a unit with the productivity coach anymore. They just have to give them 10% of the commission. We'll say that we're splitting it 50-50, so 0.5. Calculate commission, so automatically calculate that for you. If they're not getting a unit, you just have to manually calculate what 10% would be. If they like to give to KW Cares and they've told you, hey, I want to give $10 to KW Cares, there it is. If you need to add some extra payment information in there for you, then you can. I wouldn't. I would just put it in and let them deal with that. Save. So then you're going to see that that agent was added, Rachel was added. And I cannot see where she's at on her capping. All I can see is my own. But you'll notice it says, hey, excess agent commission, there's way more commission on this board because my numbers didn't change because I'm still saying I got 1 unit. So I have to go into mine, edit agent, calculate commission. It'll pop that number up for me, save, and you're done. Easy peasy? Was that hard? Okay, you have a note section here. If you needed to add notes as to why Rachel was getting paid half of this, or hey, I added this bonus to go to blah, 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 you can put that on there. And then all you do is simply do is hit submit. Once you hit submit, it will go to Kayla and you cannot change it, okay? If you have an issue where, say, the commission rate changed, instead of 3.0, it changed to 2.5, it's okay. If you can fix it, great. If you've got plenty of time and you can shoot Kayla an email and say, hey, Kayla, for the commission sheet for 721 Gray Station Road, I need to change that commission split. Can you kick it back to me? She can go in the system and she can kick it back to you.
Now, you're not submitting this until it closes, right?
They would like you to submit them as early as you can, but I typically don't submit a green sheet until after
Yeah,
inspections.
You have to.
Yeah.
Backpedal, like I said.
Yeah.
You end up having to drop the commission
Mhm.
half percentage just to make them work.
Yeah.
And it's actual work.
I usually do it after inspection. I won't lie there. But if something does change, like last minute, and you've already submitted it, and you've already turned in your check, don't worry. Kayla can change it on her end. If you can catch it beforehand and email her and say, hey, kick it back to me, I need to change something, that's great. The more accurate it is, the better it is. But Kayla can make those changes just like with the green sheets. And you're done. Like, that's like super easy.
When I edit stages, it's not giving me a choice to save anything. Is it automatically saved?
Edit stages. Are you talking about on the opportunity board?
Like I added my listing that's supposed to close
Mm-hmm.
to what you're doing, what we're doing in class.
Mhm.
But it's not letting me save anything. We'll talk later.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that has to do with what we're doing here, so just hold off on that for the moment.
But I'm trying to like get it in the opportunity.
You're trying to get your listing in the opportunity?
Well, it's wanting me to add a listing to the opportunity to get paid.
Right, and we did that by clicking, you see the little billboard up here at the top? You have to click there.
It was showing active though, so, okay. Yeah, I don't want to real class. Thank you.
Oh, you're fine. I just want to make sure I'm answering your question. Okay, I'm going to write down some people. Do I have any questions from anybody on how to get paid? Because I just walked through it one time. I can walk through it again if you need me to. Start to finish.
So where did the documents come in, like now when do we just, like for now, we submit them through Dotloop as usual?
For now, okay, so Robin's question for all of those on the Zoom was, what do we do with our documents now? Your process with documents is the exact same. You're still gonna build those loops in Dotloop and submit them.
So for right now, this is just replacing green sheet.
That we are just replacing green sheets. We're trying to roll it out in phases so that we're not overwhelming you with a new commission sheet process and a new DocuSign process all at one time. We're trying to like, hey, let's do the easy part first. Kitchen's comfortable with that, and then we'll start on DocuSign and compliance.
So we can use this now instead of green sheet,
Yes, you sure can.
or we can still use green sheet for a little bit longer if we feel like
Brooke
we have
doesn't like
to.
that answer.
We prefer everyone who's taken the class to go
Okay,
ahead and
yes.
start using. Now, if you've already submitted a green sheet for a something that you've got currently pending, that's absolutely
I think I did for this one that I just put in, so I'll make sure not to submit it.
fine. That's absolutely fine.
Okay.
But here on, like moving out, anything new you get, we're trying to encourage people, hey, let's start using commission sheets. Because what happens is when you submit it, Kayla has to go in on her side and she gets like a list of everybody that's submitted something new. She has to approve it. And once it's approved, it pushes over to, pretty sure the system is called Winmore, but I could be wrong, pushes over to Winmore just like a green sheet would. And the nice thing about this is if something's not wrong, she can kick it out of Winmore and kick it back to you. So it's a nice little process. But it's easy. I feel like it's really easy. Unless y'all tell me, heck no, that's not easy, do it again.
Well, I've not used it yet, so I'll let you know. But now, it looks simple enough, and just getting used to it.
It is.
I want to go back to comfort zone.
Yeah, it is. And Command is a whole new beast, and you do have to have like your contacts in there. So getting them in there is like one of the most important things.
That's a lot simpler than green sheets. I mean, yeah, you know it, but green sheets is very funky. I mean, that's a lot less stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of extra information in green sheets that you don't have to fill out. So then you're trying to remember, like, what do I need and who gets what? And I have the listing, so I need to make sure I add. Now it's just your side. I have
Yeah, that's a lot better.
And if you have both sides, you just have to put it in there one time as the listing, type in the buyer, type in your name as the buyer's agent, and then do the full 6%, and you're done.
That seems better.
All done.
Well, awesome.
Told you guys this class would only take about 30 minutes. Do I have anybody on Zoom that needs me to go through it again? Mike shaking his head.
When's your next class?
Well, I'm going on vacation, so I'm not teaching anything next week, but I think my next class is the first week of September, that Friday.
Okay, I have to come in. I'm gonna try it on my own, but I need to come in person.
Well, I don't mind. I've got 30 minutes. I can walk through it one more time if you want me to. I am
Okay.
here for you. Or I'll walk through it. I don't care. Okay. Where do you need me to start? Do you need me to start with creating the opportunity?
Yeah, I came in late, so wherever.
Okay. All right. I'm going to minimize this again, and then I'll start from the beginning. So let me kind of okay, so there's two ways, Kathy, to create an opportunity, okay? You can do it from the opportunity board section. You got to make sure your client has been entered as a contact. That's step one, make sure your client's entered as a contact. You can come here to this section if you plan to use the board and click Create Opportunity. It will then pop up this menu and you just go through the steps. You're not on a team, so you don't got to worry about that. And you only have your license at Johnson City, so you're good there. You'll select opportunity type. So if it's a listing or a buyer, you'll pick which one it is. We'll just stick with listing. You'll then type in the client's name. And your contacts will kind of pull up. If they're married or have a spouse or someone buying it with them, you'll want to make sure that they're also in the system. We'll just say that I'm married to me. You can then name that opportunity. I suggest naming it the address of whatever they're going to purchase. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. You can give it custom tags. You'll see the custom tags I've created are like VA, Gray, Mount Carmel, USDA, THJ, Mountain City, just as a location and a loan type deal thing. Depends on what mood I'm in. You can put in an estimated close date. You'll put in like the estimated list price and the commission. So like I was, thank you. You're welcome. Like I was telling everyone earlier, now that we're in commission sheets, if you have the listing and the other agent on the other side is a KW agent, they're still going to do their own commission sheet. You're going to do yours and they're going to do theirs. But if you happen to have both sides of the deal, then you'll just come in here and change it to 6%. Okay. Now, these two sections at the very bottom are if you plan to use the opportunity board to track your transaction. If you're not going to track it and move it along the board and you're just going to stick with your blackboard on your wall or your dry erase board, you don't have to worry about those. And then you would just simply hit create.
Brooklyn, if I'm just playing, can I hit create and delete it later?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can create it. Now, if you're in the opportunity section and you're not using the board, you can go to all opportunities to find that opportunity. Of course, if you hit create, it's going to take you to the detail card anyway, but when you leave it, I'm trying to show you where to find it. All opportunities, and it'll show up there for you. Or you can go to the contact. And when you're on the contact detail card on the activity section, It says opportunities right there. You can click it and then it'll show you a list of all the opportunities you've had with that client.
Okay, wait, I'm lost. I went back to the shaking hands and clicked on the person that I just added as a listing.
And that's absolutely fine. I'm just showing you where you can also see it.
Okay,
I'm just simply showing you that if you leave it, days later you go back to change something, you can find it on the contact opportunity card. That's all I'm showing you. It's just it's in a couple different places where you can find it.
got it. Okay, wait, you're under opportunities. Okay, I see it. I got it.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to click it, and when it opens for me, we'll be on the detail section, the detail card of the, I call them cards, but section, tab, whatever you want to call it. The details of the opportunity, which is what we typed in, and you can always edit those and change them. The next thing we have to do in order to get paid is to create the offer. So this is the offer that I created just a minute ago. I went back in and I changed my response. I haven't responded yet, but I clicked change response and it turned it back to neutral. So to create an offer, you just simply click add new. We'll call this initial offer 2, hit create, and then we just walk through the steps. You can name the version if you so wish. You select an offer date. See if it holds on to that information this time. Click a close date when it's going to close, and then just simply hit the next button. Obviously, the seller's information is going to automatically populate because we said this was a listing, and we're going to put in the buyer's name and information. We can mark if they're pre-approved or pre-qualified.
Now that's really all we fill out is their name, right? Because we don't have access to the other information.
You don't. If you did and you wanted to put it in there, you totally could. I typically don't. I just put in the buyer's name. Okay. Same thing with the agent. I just put in their name. If this was your listing and you had both sides of the transaction, you could totally come in here and put the buyer's name and then put your name right there again.
Okay.
And then you just click next, which says terms because it's moving you to the next section. And here's all the information that it needs to generate that commission sheet. You can break it down if you wish into cash and financing amount. The only reason that I find it useful to do that is if you're actually getting like multiple offers on your listing and you want to generate that URL to send out to them so they can have a side-by-side comparison of all the different offers, which your little manual that I gave you will walk you through that. If not, I just usually type in the financing amount, the amount that they're gonna give me for the sales price. Then I type in the earnest money. We don't have an option fee, so you can skip that. This termination option is our inspection period. So they have 10 days to do their inspections. If there's any like service contracts going on and the seller's got to contribute so much to that, like a new sewer going in, different things like that, you put that amount there.
What about like paying for like a termite service? If you have the buyer and the seller's paying for that, would you put that here?
No, I wouldn't. I would just, are they asking for seller paid concessions?
Okay, so is that what goes there as the concessions?
Yes, so you see how it says seller will contribute blank to settlement costs? That's your
Okay.
seller paid concessions.
Okay.
And that termite inspection rolls into that. This service contract is more like, hey, they're in a neighborhood that didn't have a sewer line, but now there's a sewer line and they got to pay a fee to tap into that, and the seller's going to have to pay it. That's kind of
Okay.
what that is. But settlement costs is all your like title, if they had to pay for the termite, different things like that.
Okay.
Okay. Then you'll click next for agent analysis. This section I tend to skip for buyers. And if I didn't get multiple offers for sellers, I skip it as well. But if you're doing the multiple offer like URL to like do a side-by-side comparison with your client, this is a nice place to type in the pros and the cons. And if you want to put a little summary, you can, like,
This would have really helped a month ago.
huh,
I mean, no, this is
We're
good.
down to Brooklyn. That was simple enough.
I told you it would be easy.
I didn't believe you.
Okay, so
Everything was gonna be on.
Asking price.
then do you just hit accept?
You hit save, and then that will bring you here to this section. If you wanted to do that side-by-side comparison, you could select all and then compare offers, and it would generate this nice little spreadsheet for
Oh.
you.
That's neat.
And you can email it or download it.
Very cool.
If not, click back to offers, and then you just accept the one that they want to go with. It will automatically reject the others. That will bring up your commission tab. Your commission tab is now clickable. And it brings you right back into here. Now, if you don't have a listing added, like I'll just remove it, remove listing. You'll get this like, hey, missing information, your listing is missing. All you gotta do is click select from listings. It'll pop open this side window for you, and you just simply select whichever listing it was for.
Okay.
Yeah, my contact date stayed that time. Or contract date. If you need to edit any information in one of these sections, all you got to do is like, say we went from 3% and we had to go down to 2.5 to make it work, that's where we would change it. If you had both sides of the transaction, that's not one unit, that's two. Let me put that in there. So when you scroll down, you'll kind of see like, hey, here's this agent. If you needed to add like an outside referral, which is our most common things to do, or an inside referral, you just click the, I'm going to show you again, click the edit agent payment, scroll down, add item. We've got bonuses, concessions, deductions, inside referral and outside referral. You click outside referral. One of the most important things about this is now you're actually entering the information from the W-9. You've got the percentage of the referral. It's always going to be an EIN number. You'll pull that from the W-9. The brokerage company name will be on there. And then obviously you know who the agent was that referred them. The address will also be on there. In my experience, the phone number is not on there. And I've tried to Google it a couple times and couldn't find it. So I just simply put 555-555-5555.
Brooklyn, the tax ID, do you need the person who's on the referral? Like the other side?
So
That wouldn't be my tax ID, that would be theirs, right?
that would be theirs. So like, have you had anyone refer you anything from like somewhere else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I've given referrals.
So when you give referrals, you're supposed to give them a copy of your W-9 form from the office. It's in Dotloop. They will give you their W-9 if you're sending out a referral to somebody else.
Got it. Okay.
Yep, they'll send their W-9 to you, and that number will be on there,
Okay.
as well as the name, and then obviously, you know, the agent. And then you just simply click add. I guess I can make this up. Okay, and then you'll see it right there, outside referral, save changes. It'll then recalculate all the information here. Excess agent commission. It's like, hey, there's more commission here. Why is there more commission? No, it shouldn't be doing that because it should be deducting it right there. There it goes. I forgot to hit the calculate commission button. Sorry, save changes. Went away. Okay, were you with us when I went over what this is?
Where are you? Yes.
Okay, so that's just kind of calculating for you.
Yep.
Now, if you were on a team or you were splitting with somebody in the office, you could click edit agent payment. Change this unit to, like, if you were splitting 50-50 with somebody, you just do 0.5. Calculate commission. Save changes. You'd come up here to right beside where it says payments, add another agent. It'll just be people in our office, so don't worry. If you change your units first, it's automatically going to populate the remaining amount here. And then voila, there it is. And then you would just simply hit submit and you're done.
Okay, that seems simple enough.
Yeah, it's easy. I think the first time you do one, you're going to be like, wait a minute, did I put in all the information? Did I do everything I was supposed to do? And the answer is going to be, yeah, you did it. It's just that easy. It is just that easy.
So now how do I delete this?
So, okay. So what you're going to do is you'll go to your opportunities board. Make sure I'm telling you right.
Let me ask you while you're doing this. If I've got the buyer and I'm creating a green or this new sheet, is it going to pull the MLS listing over as well? When I type in?
You don't have to have a list. It'll ask you for the address for a buyer.
Okay.
But it won't ask you for, like, your listing because it's not yours.
Okay.
Needing an opportunity. I want to make sure I say this right. Okay. So how you delete it is you'll come in here on your board and you'll find it. Probably on the second page for me. Here it is.
And archive it. I see it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Click the 3 little dots, archive. Now take it away. Gone.
Awesome. Thank you.
You are welcome. And I recorded this, so I'm going to download the video, put it on YouTube, and then send it out to everybody. So do you have any more questions for me, Kathy?
Nope, I'm good.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to end this Zoom then because you're the last one on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And now from here on out, commission sheets, not green.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye.